hello. Welcome in. Thank you for joining me. I'm Rebecca, and we are going to meditate a little. We're going to get into a channeling today, and we are going to set our energy and start the week off together, taking control of what little things we have control of, which is our own bodies, our own hearts and minds. So thank you for joining me. The theme this week, the overarching concept that ties this all together, is unlimited possibilities. And put another way, my guides this week are talking about encouraging us to daydream or dream in general, or map out our lives in ways that we might not feel so comfortable doing. And I have to admit, this is definitely a personal challenge of mine. So it's been really interesting this week that I've been getting a lot of symbology during dreaming and synchronicity throughout the day that has to do with dreaming. So for me, that animal sign is the lizard. It doesn't matter how big or small the lizard, doesn't matter what it looks like. But to me, the animal totem of the lizard represents my guides encouraging me to start thinking ahead. Start opening my mind up to, it can be something specific like a goal or a new way of doing something, something creative I want to do in my life, or it can be starting to think bigger about what this world is going to look like once the dust settles. So, that said, thank you once again for joining me. Feel free to join me in lighting a candle together. I love to light a candle to help us feel connected and united in this theme, but also just hanging out together, and also to shine a little light in this world. And then, of course, if you've brought some tea or coffee, I'm just drinking lemon water. Feel free to join me in a cheers. Cheers to you. If you like, feel free to say hello in the chat. And also, thank you so much for those of you who hang out with me regularly. I did have to skip last week. Everything's fine. Just a little, well, everything's fine. But there was a loss in my best friend's family. And so I wanted to be helpful and supportive. So I went on a little road trip last week to help be there for a bestie. But I'm back now and very excited to be with you guys. Okay, so I will go ahead and get into Monday's the channeling for today, Monday. And I'll start off by reading you the answer to when I asked my guides what would be the most helpful theme this week. And here's what they had to say. The most helpful theme this week would be opening up to more joy and expansion. Just like they were referencing something personal. They said, just like the card reading, opening up to amazing possibilities. Perhaps Spirit does want something as big and as grand as you can handle. And we've talked about this in the past a little bit, this concept of how we kind of keep ourselves small or limit ourselves based off of what we perceive in the world around us. So on that note, we are going to be trying this week to stretch our hearts a bit, to stretch our minds a bit, and see where we might be holding ourselves back or keeping ourselves small. All right. Good morning, Blue. Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Okay. So, here's what my guides had to say about who are you after getting through this. What creative pursuits have you enjoyed daydreaming about? Envisioning yourself bringing to life. Do you think those were just silly momentary reveries of what life could be, just if and only? Or is it possible that those were like little hidden possible agendas, pulling, lulling, enticing your focus to enjoy dreaming of a plan alternative to what you had in your path? Sometimes we think of dreaming just as fun. We take time to cultivate our sense of expansion and what ifs. But have you considered these are like jumping stones of little breadcrumbs through the woods? Sometimes we have a tendency to see our dreams as irresponsible or not practical for our lives in reality. We put the kibosh on them or enjoy them for the moment, and sometimes in conversation we will even say, "Oh yeah, I've always wanted to do that." Sometimes we will even go so far as to look up or discover if anyone else is doing the thing we wish we could do. How well are they doing in their lives? Perhaps you even compare yourself. We wish to invite you to take a look around at all the rebirths available to you. Sometimes we forget after massive change that there's a whole new person within us. A person who has gone through a reorganization of all the parts in their life. A person who maybe even looks a little different now. Maybe their smiles have changed. Their hearts have softened. They have been humbled and shook up. This is soon to be in the past. But did you know, or have you considered who you are now that you are almost on the other side? Have you considered that during this fall season of your life, you are becoming bare and wide open to the spring after winter? Your new growth, your expansion, your opportunities to be more of you await. We get so excited at this threshold. This doorway opens to a magical path ahead. For those of you who dare to create more consciously your life going forward, this week is for you. For those of you who still have mending and healing to do, to acclimate more to this new world that will be coming, this is also for you. For knowing what's to come can often shake inspiration to rise to the surface. And inspiration is like a guiding light for healing. We are with you so closely during these healing and cathartic times. We see you, we love you, and we thank you. And like I said, this is something that I'm personally in the middle of as well. So when I did my own personal guidance this week, this came up a lot. Like I mentioned, I've been dreaming of lizards. I pulled the lizard animal totem. And so this one is near and dear to my heart. This week is near and dear to my heart for sure, because I feel like this is legit the advice my guides are giving me at this exact time in my life as well, personally, aside from what we do here together. So good morning, John. Good morning, good morning. So yeah, feel free to let me know how easy this is for you. Not all of us are looking for, massive expansive change in our life, and I'm not necessarily either, but 2020 and 2021 have brought out a lot of shifts and changes, and from there, like my guides mentioned, there's a clean slate. There's new opportunity for us to shift and grow. And another way that, on a personal note, that I've been hearing this said is that as we evolve, the things we do also need to evolve, the ways that we do things. So this can even be as simple as changing up a pattern in your life, or changing up a a way you do things, or maybe lots of little ways that you do things that just don't feel right anymore, that maybe they feel a little limiting, or they feel a little less expansive. So even changing up your routine, or maybe planning a trip somewhere, or taking up a hobby, this is really a good time to start planting those seeds. Maybe not necessarily taking action, but just beginning to open up your heart and open up your mind to some things that you haven't thought about in a while, or some things that you thought, nah, that's just not for me. We can come up with all sorts of reasons and excuses why it's not a good time, or why we just don't feel prepared or ready, or why we might just feel like something isn't for us. And that can be so many different things. Sometimes it's our financial situation. Sometimes it's our age. Sometimes it's where we physically live, or the people around us. So there's a lot of different things we can sort of throw in our path, or assume are in the way from the bigger things we want, or just the newer ways we want to do things. And that's okay. We'll figure it out together. As always, everything is a practice. So sometimes this comes with having to kind of recondition ourselves, or retrain our minds, or entrain our minds to be able to come closer to the things that we want. And this can be a fun process. It can be an expansive opening up process. It can be like if you imagined that you had a treasure chest in front of you, or a mysterious magical bag, and inside was all the things that your heart and soul wants for you, all the things that your higher self and spirit wants for you. That's all we're really trying to do, is take a peek, open it up, and see what we can get into. So, today's meditation is focused on inspiring us into what the future might look like a little bit. And when we're simultaneously existing in a really challenging, oppressive time, we know that is temporary. And so it can be kind of exciting to think about all the good stuff on the other side of this, while the weird stuff is still happening. It's like, remember when it was the last months of school and you were like, oh, you could like taste it, you could feel it. You'd be like, oh my gosh, only for 3 more weeks do I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and, spend all my hours on all this work and all these projects. And you just started to have this like bursting type feeling inside of what you were going to do with all your freedom. So that's the theme. That's the spirit of it. All right. So today's meditation, which we'll get into here in just a minute, is a little more active. It's exploratory. It's fun. And so, I don't really have any advice for you, whether you want to lay down, sit. This might even be a fun one to walk slowly to, a walking meditation. I love a walking meditation. So, you'll have some time to decide what you want to do. But for now, let's go ahead and get ready for our energy alignment and our manifesting together. And one more cheers. Cheers to Blue. Cheers to John. So nice to have you here. Okay, my beautiful friends, let's go ahead and turn up the music. And we will get into meditating. And if this is your first time joining us, just settle in for a nice guided energy alignment. I'll walk you through everything. There's nothing you have to worry about doing correctly or incorrectly, because it's all good. Finding your nice meditative position, and we'll go ahead and start with the singing bowl. Closing your eyes, taking a nice breath in and out at your own pace as you begin to bring your focus inward, drawing your attention to your heart, to your breath. And beginning with that root chakra, feeling your connection to Mother Earth, your sense of home, grounding in as you say hello and send some love to the earth. Beginning to open up, feeling a sense of expansion in your energy fields. Feeling that subtle body lighten, expand, open a bit. So you also connect into the energy of your soul, your higher self. Feeling that connection to perhaps your inner child who's all about dreaming big. Becoming aware of any subtle sensations as you open your heart to Spirit, to Christ, to the sun and the moon, to your guides, and beginning to draw in pure love from Spirit, from God, from Source, whatever word feels good to you. Feeling this pure love and light begin to enter through your crown chakra, swirling around all the beautiful layers of your energy fields. This clearing and cleansing and rejuvenating, entering your chakras, your mental body, spiritual body, emotional body. This light pouring even into your inner child as well. And feeling this sense of a clean slate, a fresh start, this light paving the way, and all the while beginning to set the intention to release and let go of anything that's happened recently that might be kind of bothering you, maybe stuck a little. Cutting cords with that, releasing it. Any distortion, old patterns, fears, knowing that if you simply set the intention to let go and ask for help, releasing these things, clearing them out from your life, that it will happen gently and at its own pace and time. So just making that commitment with me, joining me in setting the intention for this light to really blast away all that lower vibrational energy. And if you like, in this moment, you can also call all of your energy back to yourself. Anywhere that you might have scattered yourself, or anything that really might be pulling your attention, just calling that attention back, calling all the parts of you back to you, into the heart space. And taking a moment to feel that heart space as this light continues to pour into your body, feeling your heart space light up. Feeling a sense of gratitude for this moment. Feeling a sense of unconditional love for yourself and for your life. Feeling a sense of gratitude and unconditional love for everything that's happening in your life stream. And perhaps even a sense of unity and Christ consciousness, calling forward your Christed self. And taking a nice, deep, cleansing breath. Simply feeling this alignment for a moment. Any subtle sensations in the body, it's fun to make note of where you might be feeling sensation, tingling, or energy. And in a moment, you'll hear the singing bowl as we transition into our visualization practice for manifesting. And so starting off our guided visualization by inviting in the energy of your soul, your true nature, your infinite self, becoming aware, coming into energetic alignment with your values that are associated with what you're manifesting. Maybe what you're creating in your life is anchored into a value of freedom or harmony. Maybe this is a way to call more abundance into your life, or love, joy, excitement, exploration, whatever it is, beginning to really feel that emotion, that sacred value come alive in your body, finding that frequency and beginning to turn on your clairs, your ways of seeing. Maybe that's knowing, maybe that's feeling, hearing, seeing. Whatever it is in your own unique way, begin to visualize now, seeing yourself fully engaged, enjoying watching yourself with your manifestation as if it's happening in this now moment, creating that now on your own for a couple breaths, feeling that enjoyment. envisioning a volume dial beside you, seeing if you can turn up the volume on your enjoyment. Maybe adding a little smile, or seeing if you can simply heighten a feeling. Wonderful. And then gently allowing that to come to an end, come to a close. Imagining if you're watching a movie that the credits roll and a new screen appears. And so for our second visualization now, we'll do the same exact thing. So anchoring into that other value, maybe even if it's the same value or different one. And beginning to activate and turn on that imagination, that dreaming, seeing yourself co-create with this next visualization in this now moment. Have fun with it, play, enjoy on your own for a couple breaths. And if you like, since we've been talking about our inner child today, feel free to invite your inner child into this experience, trying not to judge or make any assumptions, just allowing an experience to unfold, inviting the inner child forward and simply observing what happens for a couple moments. And as we begin to soften this visualization, knowing and trusting that as you pull this into your energy stream, into your life, you know that it's on its way to you in perfect divine timing. And offering out into the world what you're manifesting for yourself to also be available for anyone, anywhere, in a way that's just right and unique for them. Offering abundance out, letting go of scarcity mentality, and also offering out some encouragement to all of us manifestors, all of us creator beings, feeling that beautiful encouragement like a force, sending it out into the world. And then shifting into the receiving mode, receiving that support, receiving that encouragement, breathing it in, noticing in your body where you feel it. receiving your manifestation, and trusting, surrendering, letting it all go. And then if you like, you can open up your eyes for a moment and join me on screen by saying, "And so it is." And we'll sing this all out into the world with our singing bowl. So from here, we'll get into our longer form guided meditation on today's topic, which is who are you after getting through this, and the theme of limitless possibilities. I used to have a shirt that said limitless possibilities. I got it from Old Navy, and I love it. I loved it. I don't know where it is, but I might make a new one. All right, everyone. So for this guided meditation, like I mentioned, if you want to sit, if you want to lay down, if you want to go for a little walk, this is definitely a more active one. So just trust yourself, take your own lead. If it's something I didn't even mention, if you're just driving, be careful. Or you can always come back to it later. Hey Jasper, welcome, welcome. So taking some time to settle into your body. Taking some time to come into an openness within yourself. Just settling in. I'm going to ring the singing bowl in a moment to just help anchor you into a receptive but also slightly active, dreamy kind of space. So finding your own unique way to settle in and open up, listening out for that singing bowl. And wherever you are in this moment, finding a connection once again with your heart, with your soul, and also finding a sense of connection to expansion, to the future. Maybe that future is, from your perspective, a year from now, 2 years from now. It doesn't matter when exactly, but somewhere we're finding ourselves in a very close, near future. You're in your home. Maybe you're sitting outside. Wherever you are, you know that because we are in the future, the air outside is clean and fresh. unpolluted by carbon. All the chemtrails stopped long ago. No climate forcing anymore. Those days are long gone. There's no more poisons at all. Not in our food, not in our air. It's been a while now since the products we use have been cleaned up. Everything is natural. And the world and the air has become so clean that the smell of flowers and plants, the smell of trees and fruit is noticeable. Wherever you are, wherever you live, the nature around you begins to perfume the air. Somehow even feels so much easier to breathe these days. The air feels alive. Full of energy. And even the water that comes right from your tap comes from a pure, clean source. And the soil has been healed. And there's no more heavy metals or toxins in the soil. And there's no more medicine, pharmaceuticals in the water. It's all pristine and pure. And all those lower density toxins and poisons have been long gone now. And instead they're replaced with the essence of water, the true, pure, original spirit of soil. And the earth being able to thrive for so long now without these poisons has begun to vibrate at higher and higher frequencies, so that the water is alive, thriving, healing and energizing to your body. So you breathe in this almost electric air, this beautiful, clean, and energized air. And even outside your home, in the bigger picture of what's going on out in the world is also being cleaned up. even the leaders of our countries have evolved and grown. Even the leaders of our countries are helping each other with resources like food, housing, clothing, and even you and your neighbors are now enjoying what they do for a living. And it's like we've woken up to a new way of living, a new way of being. And some people go to work just like always. But now they are paid abundantly and equally. And some people stay at home to raise their families. And some kids go to school and others stay home for personal education. And everyone and everything on earth, including the earth herself, feels so much more vibrant these days. You take a moment to breathe this all in. Not thinking about the past, but simply acknowledging what it's like these days, now that we're on the other side of it. Feeling a sense of gratitude in this moment for all the change and growth. The awe of it. And taking a moment to simply feel that awe of how far humanity has come, how much we were able to shift and grow and change in miraculous ways. And sometimes it still feels like a weird dream, what we all went through together. And sometimes it still feels so big to have so much potential still out there, waiting to be formed into creation. And the world has become so open. We really are in the dawning of the age of Aquarius. We see that we really are creating our future. And now we can see that so much more clearly. So let's take a moment together to reset, to take a breath and make sure we are all anchored into this now moment, to this reality, to this shifting from old to to new, from dark to light, from then to now. Taking a nice deep breath at your own pace. Settling in, acclimating to the waters that will soon meet us, so that when they do arrive, we will know how to drink them. Taking a couple more breaths at your own pace, simply seeing what arises for you, feeling yourself on the other side of all of this, like a time traveler for a moment, using your creative power to feel yourself maybe a year or two from now, maybe 4 or 5 years from now, on your own, just playing and experimenting, feeling yourself on the other side of all of this, on your own for a couple breaths. And on your next breath, anchoring whatever you have in your awareness, anchoring it into this now moment as truth, allowing it to take hold. And this might feel like a strength or a resolution in your heart, in your solar plexus. It might feel like an expansion or a new foundation. Taking a moment perhaps to give yourself a gentle touch or squeeze somewhere on your body, feeling the physicality of truth embodied, offering some kindness and compassion to yourself as you gently bring your focus back into this room that you're in, bringing some awareness to the sense of aliveness around you, within you. Perhaps you want to spend some more time here, and if that's the case, we can say goodbye. But if you're ready to come back fully present into your waking life, join me in a little stretch of the arms, a wiggle of the fingers, perhaps a stretch to one side, or shrugging the shoulders. And in a moment when you're ready, coming fully back into your awareness. In a moment you'll hear the singing bowl welcoming you completely back into this now moment, into the rest of your day. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Thank you for meditating with me. All right, my friends, lots more of that this week. More practice. More practice feeling into potential, and making sure we're really taking some time aside from everything that's going on in this wacky world, calling all our power back to us and really trying to stay in our lane, staying focused on what's happening in our own life streams and how we can continue to persevere through all of this, one day at a time. So tomorrow we're talking about, have you loved yourself lately? Have you loved yourself lately? And for all of you with dirty minds, I'm not talking about masturbation. Maybe in a parallel universe. So leave your vibrators in the drawer tomorrow. Leave your dildos in the drawer. We're not going to be talking about that. Okay. And also, for those of you who do monthly subscriptions with me, look out for an email today inviting you to ask any particular or specific questions. And I thought something that would be fun this month, for the month of November, is if you don't submit questions, one of the questions I'm going to be proposing for us is, what is something that you've been doing really, really well at in your life? Or where would spirit or your guides like to highlight or recognize you for something that you're just like super on top of? Sometimes it helps to have positive feedback for and a sense of recognition or understanding of what you're thriving at. So get ready for that. And then also, if you're not a monthly subscriber and you are curious about receiving monthly guidance subscriptions, which is basically every month I tap into your guides and your higher self. Sometimes I use oracle cards, and I ask for messages that would be really helpful for you for your month ahead. So every month you have a focus, you have some guidance, and you have some goals or advice for some things that you'd like to work with or improve upon or heal with, all that sort of thing. So all that can be found on my website. I will leave my website in the comments. You can also check it out in the description box below, and just check out where it says monthly subscriptions, and you'll see that there's a lot of different tiers there that I like to hope works with everyone's budget. So there's my link in the live chat. I'll also put it in the comments. And so if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, feel free to share with somebody, leave a comment, whatever you like, and we'll do it all again tomorrow, my friends. So thank you so much for joining me. Lots of love to you guys. Happy Monday. I love you lots. Thank you for joining me. Bye.